G'day Crustacean Nation, Sir Prawnlot here with another video. Today we're going to be feeding my bettas some Betta pellets from Pisces. This video is sponsored by Pisces. They sent me a bunch of foods and water treatments and I'm still sort of getting through them all. I have started feeding these to my Betta already and they really enjoy them, so I thought I'd share the feeding of these little bettas. And also I want to show off the Enrich fertilizer for the plants, because I think this tank really shows how well the fertilizer can work and how well it does work. So these are the Pisces Betta pellets. As you can see, got the Betta on the photo and they're about yay big. It's sort of a standard Betta granule size. A good little tip for when you pick these up from the shops is just to have a look at the bottom to get a good view of what the grain size is. It also goes for any other of the Pisces foods or products. Just have a look at the bottom and it will usually give you a bit of a idea of what's going on. We're going to go ahead and feed Dr. and Simba. I think Simba's down the back there hiding, so I'll go ahead and coax him out. Here he comes. I just had to tap on the glass a little bit at the top. I usually do this to sort of get him to come out, and he seems to always come out. So here's the little granules here. These are the little pellets that we'll be feeding. So I just take a little pinch and drop a couple on this side, make sure they get some. And then while Simba's tracking down that one, I'll go over to the other side and drop it in for Dr. And Dr. should have a go. Oh, you got 2 in 1 just then. That's great. So I usually feed them maybe 10 or so. I don't feed them twice a day, but you can feed them twice a day in smaller portions. Sometimes I will feed them twice a day, but very rarely. So about 10 works for me. That may be just a tad too much in one sitting, but they seem to enjoy having a munch on it. And like I said, I don't usually feed them twice a day. And if you did feed them twice a day, you'd split the 10 into 5, maybe 5 in the morning and 5 at night. They really do love these little pellets. So on the feeding instructions, it does say to feed 2 to 4 times a day, and enough for them to eat in 5 to 10 minutes. I think maybe 10 a day is alright. I may need to start feeding them a little more, but it should be okay. I'm sure that's fine. And like I said, they love eating them. Usually I won't just stick to 10 only. I'll give a few more, depending on how they're eating them and stuff. The Betta pellet is actually suitable for guppies as well, and also like neon tetras and stuff. So any smaller fish, also your smaller cichlids, they'll happily eat it. Your smaller cichlids would also eat it, but there are actually cichlid pellets that Pisces do, so I think you'd be better off with those ones. So I'm going to go ahead and feed some of the guppies some of these pellets and see how they go with them. So the pellets are amongst the duckweed there, and the guppies are going for them. Pretty crazy. They swarm and swarm. They do this every time I feed them. But yeah, they're definitely going for the Betta pellet there. One of them's got it running away. That's a little one as well. I'm sure he's having a little munch on that. The girl guppies on the other side are always very ferocious when it comes to feeding, so I'm going to drop a few in. I just dropped one in then, or a few in then. There they go. They really love them. This is the first time I've actually tried feeding the guppies these pellets, and honestly I don't know why I haven't. They seem to really love them, and I love watching them swim around with the big pellet in their mouth. They sort of like chew on it, I think, or not chew on it, but munch on it a bit as they swim around. As you can see with that one there, it sort of thrashes it a bit. So they're not going to eat them all whole, I don't think. And they're going to, play around, fight over it a bit and break it up as it softens up in the water. So if you keep a Betta fish, or you've got some guppies, or a bit of both like I do, definitely recommend the Pisces Betta pellets. Definitely going to be great fun to, feed your bettas and your guppies. And yeah, really nice food, and it's quite good for them as well. So if any of you guys know me, and I've said this multiple times previously, I am not good with plants. And this is why I think Pisces Enrich plant fertilizer is actually really, really good. I've never used fertilizers before, and I've always had the issue of, what do I dose, how do I dose it, how much do I need, and stuff like that. And I really find Pisces Enrich like super easy to use and super safe for your shrimp and your fish and everything. You don't have to do too much testing of the water or anything like that. You can just plonk it in and your plants look great and everything does well. So these plants are all looking stunning, as you can see. I don't need to tell you that. They're green, they're fresh, they're growing and everything, and these are all plants that I have tried keeping or I've never kept in the past and failed. so it's crazy to see them doing well. And I've been dosing this tank every second day with a bit of this Enriched plant fertilizer. You could do every day. It does say to do it when the plants are getting brown, but I thought I'd stay on top of it and sort of do it as much as I can and really get the growth going well. So it's really easy to use, and I'll go ahead and show you how I do it. So while I'm here, I do just want to say the packaging on all of these products look amazing, especially the Enrich. There's something about it with the little leaf that always catches my eye. And there's all these little tiny details like the blue shines and stuff like that, as you can see. And also the bottle itself is really cool. It comes with this little measuring cap, which is super important to me as I struggle at measuring things. It's really handy. It goes up in a bunch of different increments. So as you can see, it goes 2 mils, 5 mils, 10 mils, then 20 mils, and so on and so on. It's a nice little cup and it's super useful. So when you're using the Enriched plant fertilizer, just make sure you give it a good shake before you start using it. It is important that you shake it around. When I was first testing it, I just went ahead and poured it into the cup, and it looked really globby, and I was like, something's not right. And then went ahead and read the instructions, and it said, yeah, make sure you shake it. So I like to just give it a little 30-second shake or so, just to make sure it's all mixed in well. So I went ahead and gave that Enrich a good old shake, and now we're going to go ahead and pour it in. This tank here takes 5 mils of the liquid, so we're going to go ahead and measure that out. So I did spill a little bit there, which isn't great, but usually I don't do it with a camera in my hand, so it's much easier to do it when you don't have a camera that you're focusing on. Another little tip for ease of use is to poke a little hole in the top of the alfoil stuff instead of actually ripping it off. That means you can sort of drip it in instead of having to pour it in like I did. Because this tank is 50-50 split, I split the liquid in half, so I put half into this side, then half into the other. I could just put it into the filter, or I could just put it on one side, but I do like to split it that way. Just seems to even it out a bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour it in. I don't usually do it from the front like this, so it's going to be a bit different to what I'm used to. So there's about half. And there's the other half, and for a second you can sort of see it all squiggling around. You may have seen it on the other side a bit better, but it does very quickly disperse into the water and mix in. And that's how you get your plants looking, happy and healthy like this, and growing. Like this crypt over here has been growing like crazy ever since I put it in, with everything else, but that one is the most noticeable to me. I'm not really someone who's kept a lot of crypts, and these don't have any root tabs yet or anything like that, and they're doing great. So if you do want to purchase any of these products, because I do definitely think you should, go check out some of your local fish stores or some of your retail pet stores. Some of them will definitely stock it, and if you can't find any in stores, I'll leave a link down below for an online store that you can purchase it from. Another massive thank you to Pisces for sponsoring this video and letting me use their products, and I gotta say they've definitely gotten me onto the pellet feeding and using plant fertilizer, and I think I'm going to stick with them for a while because everything seems to be going really well. Thank you very much for watching the video today. Let me know what you think about the pellets and the Enriched fertilizer. Let me know what you think of this tank as always, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.